Welcome to another episode of the Spin Sidelines. My name is Ruben Terrado, and thank you again for watching us here on Facebook and on YouTube. And today we have another special guest for you. He's one of the players of NorthPort Batang Pierre. And last year, he was part of the mythical team, first team. It was a great season for him in 2019. And recently, he also signed a new contract with NorthPort Batang Pier. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sean Anthony. Sean, good day to you.
Good day. Thanks for having me, Ruben. Thanks for everything, and good to see you, and good to
Yeah,
see you doing healthy and well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see you too, Sean. And of course, we want to know you more, but I want to ask first about how's quarantine for you. I see that you're working out very regularly, and I heard that you've been spending a lot of time with your family. Tell us more about it.
Well, I have a fairly not I guess medium size. We have three boys,
Yeah.
aged 4, 3, and 8 months, and my wife. So they're young and full of energy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been spending a lot of time with them. The schools are closed. The
Yeah.
originally the parks and stuff and the outside was closed, right, for a few months. So it was really about keeping them busy, finding
Mm-hmm.
activities like painting at home, arts and crafts,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And then to just try and be as professional as I could by
Mm-hmm.
staying in shape the best way possible. We weren't allowed to run around
Mm-hmm.
or jog on the street in our village. So
Yeah.
I built out like a little garage gym so I could lift
Mm-hmm.
some weights, just do some interval training, dribble a basketball, and just doing whatever I could just to stay, I guess, as ready as I can be for when everything's safe for us to return.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good. Good. That's good to hear. But I also want to ask about perhaps maybe your thoughts about the PBA's plan to resume practice. Any thoughts about it uh, from your end?
Well, we had the players meeting and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot, and they presented the safety protocols for a
Mm-hmm.
return to like practice, not full practice, but just more
Yeah.
like 4 guys in a gym, just I think so players can get on the court. And they were very in depth with the testing procedures and the safety protocols, the disinfecting, bubble concepts, and whatnot. So I think all the players unanimously voted that we
Yeah.
were okay with
Mm-hmm.
that safety protocol. So we look forward to hopefully the approval by the IATF and maybe resume to uh, some kind of practice. Some guys might not have a garage if they live in a condo, so they might
Mm-hmm.
not have been able to stay in shape. So at least they can get out on a court. And I mean, I want to shoot a basketball too. Like I have dribbling so much, but hopefully get a nice touch, see a rim and
Yeah.
whatnot. So look forward to when it's safe and the government approves and we can get back to that.
Yeah. How about seeing the guys during that meeting? It's been a long time since you saw your fellow players. So how was the feeling?
I mean, it was just like a quick thing
Yeah.
and whatnot. We try to be as distant as
Yeah.
possible, and we didn't. We've all been kind of in touch with each other,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like this
Yes.
through Zooms and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So it was nice, but at the same time, it's not like we could really hang out, and then like catch up. We were all, everyone had some masks, face
Yes.
masks, so
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's good though because we've been able to connect.
Mm-hmm.
Even our team, we do Zoom workouts twice a week with our
Oh.
strength coach,
Mm-hmm.
and then we also just randomly meet up or talk and whatnot, and just make sure everyone's safe and well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's good to hear. Again, we're here with Sean Anthony, and Sean, I want to talk about before your PBA career, of course, we want to know you better,
Mm.
specifically your college career. Could you talk about your college career in Canada?
Yeah, so I grew up in Canada, and I
Mm-hmm.
decided to go to school in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and there was only one university that actually recruited me,
Okay.
um, and it was McGill University, and they're considered the Harvard of Canada.
Oh, okay.
So the only reason I kind of got in there is I had the grades, so I I was able to go to university, and then I developed there as a player, and spent all 5 years
Mm-hmm.
there, and yeah, eventually moved on
Yeah.
to right after my senior year. I was invited to try out for Gilas, and
Mm, okay.
I went to Vegas to meet up with Coach Raiko and Gilas One, where I worked out with them, and then I ended up flying back to Manila with them to play with them for that summer before
Mm-hmm.
returning to finish a half a semester of school.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was my university slash intro to
Yeah.
the Philippine basketball scene.
Yeah. So what happened with Gilas One? Uh, did it prosper or what happened?
So I was picked up as like a practice player, I guess you could say.
Okay.
So it was a tryout for a lot of the Philams. So I still remember I was sharing a room, I think, with Marcio, Chris
Okay.
Lutz, Japit, uh, Brickman.
Mm.
There's a few other
Yeah.
players, and um, they ended up taking Japit, Marcio, Chris. But Marcio and Chris had to go back to finish school or something
Mm-hmm.
or they had something they couldn't go to the Philippines right away. While I had that summer off, so I went to Manila with the team after that, and I trained with them that whole summer to get ready for the Jones Cup and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I played in a bunch of exhibition games in Japan with them, or the Japan national team and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But eventually, I had to go back to finish my degree, so I went back for one semester. And by the time I came back to the Philippines, Marcio and Chris Litz had already filled
Mm-hmm.
those spots. So I decided to try and go the PBA route and
All right.
joined uh, Ascoff Lagundia
Yeah.
in the Liga
Liga Pilipinas.
Liga
I think
Pilipinas.
so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that was my next step. And even then, on that team, I didn't even make the team. I was just a practice player again.
Okay. But
Yeah.
going back to Gilas, no regrets at all that you almost made it to the actual roster and the
Oh,
final 12.
I wish I was able to play in one
Mm-hmm.
FIBA sanctioned game,
Yeah.
so I would be eligible for Gilas now. It would be a dream to
Mm-hmm.
represent the Philippines on the Gilas national team. But unfortunately, all the games I played in were just exhibition
Yeah.
series or whatnot, and there was no official
Mm-hmm.
game. Don't have any regrets. I definitely gave it my best shot and
Mm-hmm.
tried to do my best, and totally understood Coach Raiko's position
Mm-hmm.
and his selection of how he wanted to build that team. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just unfortunate the eligibility is not there.
Yeah.
So for now, I wish I could represent the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But now, are you still eligible to play as a local or as a naturalized player? You know about the rules
I
of
think it would be
FIBA.
naturalized.
All right. All right.
So
Mm-hmm.
guys like Gabe, Marcio,
Mm-hmm.
um, even Matthew Wright, because he played on the younger national
Yes.
team
Mm-hmm.
or whatnot. They all played in a FIBA sanctioned
Yeah.
game for the Philippines before the rule. I played in FIBA exhibition games,
Mm-hmm.
so technically I fall in after that. Uh,
Okay.
so I wouldn't have the same exemption as like a Gabe or Marcio. I
All
would
right.
fall into the
Mm-hmm.
naturalized, and of course, you know, naturalized. There's much better players.
Mm-hmm. As
Yeah.
they say, sayang, no? But
So
that's
I
life.
wish I could. Yeah, that's life.
uh,
Oops.
yeah. But Sean, going back to your college days in Canada, I'm not really familiar with how college basketball is played in Canada. But is it like the NCAA in the US? Is that the same
No,
format?
not
No,
at
no.
all.
All right.
Not at all. Canada's like hockey
Yeah.
country is their
Yeah.
main sport.
Mm-hmm.
Now basketball is becoming a lot more popular
Yeah.
after Steve
Mm-hmm.
Nash and a whole bunch of other Canadians were able to make it to the NBA and start up grassroots programs. But
Mm-hmm.
back then, basketball wasn't as popular a sport. It was really like hockey, football, rugby, and
Yeah.
it was weird coming from college there where we might only have 200 people in a game to playing in the PBA where you can fill up arenas with thousands of people, right? So
Yeah.
it was a huge awakening
Mm-hmm.
Filipinos uh, love basketball so much and
Yeah.
are definitely some of the most passionate basketball fans in the world. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a great to tap into that side of my bloodline. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You did play hockey?
I played hockey
Okay.
growing up. Well, it was
Okay.
one of my first sports,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a little expensive, right? You have to buy
Okay.
skates,
Mm-hmm.
equipment, pads. So basketball, you just need shoes and a ball, right, or or,
Yeah.
or whatever. With hockey, you need thousands of
Mm-hmm.
dollars worth of equipment, and when you're growing that fast, and it's too expensive a sport. So
Yeah.
I stuck to other sports.
Were you too big to play hockey, or you just right side?
At that time, I hadn't hit my growth spurt yet or anything, so I was
Okay.
just a
Yeah.
normal
All right.
the normal kid. But probably now I'd be on the much bigger side. Yeah,
Yeah.
for hockey.
Yeah. We're here with Sean Anthony, and Sean, I want to ask now about your PBA career. Of course, you started with Powerade,
Hmm.
but you were drafted by Air 21. I think you
Hmm.
were traded immediately. How's the feeling of being drafted in the PBA? Although, of course, you were traded to Powerade during that time.
I mean, it was an amazing experience that
Hmm.
that draft night.
Yeah.
Just to see your name get called and you get to walk across,
Hmm.
and then your dreams are fulfilled. Like your childhood dreams. So it was a big thing, and it was funny because when I sat back down after I walked across, my agent said, "Oh, I think you're going to be going to Powerade. Just keep a heads up, keep your phone on and
Hmm.
whatnot." And sure enough, I was driving home from the draft, and I received a call. And he's like, "Hey, can you go to uh, Abe Restaurant? Powerade's there. You just got
Okay.
traded.
Hmm.
There's a team dinner, and they want you to attend." So
Hmm.
right away, and felt right at home right from the start. Boss JB Bylon was a
Yeah.
very kind uh, manager, and as he looked over the team, and then Coach Bo and everyone was great over there too. So yeah.
Yeah. That Powerade team was a special one because you really pulled some upsets, including that against BMEG, where you were the number 8 seed. You won over BMEG, the top seed. Coach Tim Cohn, could you talk about
Mhm.
that experience of that big upset of your team against BMEG?
It was a nice experience.
Mm-hmm.
The thing was, the year before, it was like a rebuild year
Yeah.
for that year, right? I think we had finished my rookie year was almost on the bottom of the league the whole year, and then
Mm-hmm.
I think there was only 4 players that came back the next year, like Gary David, myself, Will Antonio, Ricky Kalimag.
Mm-hmm.
I, so, and then the rest were all new players through trades or drafts. And then we got JV and Marcio and a whole bunch of other good guys that just built like a really close team, which was a really fun thing to be a part of. And Boss
Mm-hmm.
JB always made sure um, we would have fun dinners or get-togethers or whatnot. So it became a really close-knit team, and I think that came out into the series and that first All Filipino right away. We
Yeah.
started playing well, and unfortunately the Coke decided to change directions with the
Yeah.
franchise, and we were all split apart. But yeah, that was a good part and a fun team to be a part of for sure.
Do you think if you had stayed together for a longer time, maybe you could have done something special with Powerade, perhaps winning a championship based on your uh, experience with that team?
Uh, I mean, I hope, like, looking back, I for sure thought that's definitely how I thought at that
Yeah.
time and whatnot. And you see how Marcio's gone off, and he's
Yeah.
been amazing player
Mhm.
at San Miguel. JB's led Alaska to a championship as well, and
Mhm.
Doug's been a solid player wherever he's gone. Gary obviously was Gary,
Yes.
and did his thing, right? So I think we had some really good pieces. You never know what would
Yeah.
have happened, but it would have been nice, definitely,
Hmm.
to have moved forward with a thing. But those things are out of our control,
Yeah.
and I'm happy where we are now with
Yeah.
NorthPort for sure.
Hmm. Going back to that game against BMEG, the knockout game, what do you
Mm.
remember the most about that game? Of course, we always see Gary David and with his hands, like something like
Yeah.
doing this. And what do you recall about that game? That was a crazy
Well,
game.
I remember with that team, we just had like a never quit attitude,
Hmm.
basically, and
Yeah.
a lot of our games, we always came back from behind. Like we always went down
Hmm.
going into like halftime or something. We were down pretty big, and we'd always find a way to battle back and whatnot. So the same thing, we were I think we won the first game, and our confidence is really high. And then
Hmm.
BMEG came out in game two and just got a huge lead on us. Were beating us basically the whole game, and we were down big double figures going into the last few minutes. And yeah, it's kind of like a blur, but
Yeah.
we just, Gary especially caught fire, Marcio caught fire, and just we made some big plays, and I think once we put that game into overtime, we had a huge momentum in that
Yes.
overtime. So yeah,
Mhm.
uh,
And,
it's kind of honestly a little bit of a
yeah.
blur, but
Hmm.
it was a very, that was that team. We just always came from behind to come back in the last second somehow.
Yeah. Mhm. Right. We're here with Sean Anthony. Of course, he's playing for Northport Batang Pier. But Sean, of course, before playing for Batang Pier, you moved to a lot of teams. How how's the feeling like moving to being traded to different teams? What's your thoughts about that during that time?
Um, well, I understood Powerade wanted to
Hmm.
break up, or I mean, they sold it and broke it up
Yes.
before, or whatnot, and then I think a lot of the trades were the Philam rules. The way I made my way
Mm-hmm.
through
Hmm.
MVP group, it was, I think there was 8 Philams
Hmm.
originally on Talk and Text, and then when I was on Moralco, they drafted Newsome and brought in Jimmy. So I
Yes.
was always the one Philam that got traded to to NLEX and to whatnot. So
Hmm.
um, it was just adjusting, always trying to find my role and always trying to fit in and whatnot. And uh, eventually moving around, you find different areas where you fit into a system.
Hmm.
I had have some up season, I used to have some struggle on other teams, and I believe you find a system and whatnot. And right now, I'm really happy with where I am. So yeah.
Yeah. And it seems like you've found a home here with Northport. What's the difference here with Northport compared to the other teams that you've played for?
I think I fit in with Coach Pito's system and
Hmm.
the way he adjusts me. The guys are friendly. I think one of the things is for me is I'm not a typical like player. I guess like really small power forward, I guess you could say, and
Mhm.
I guess a big small forward. So I fit like an in between position. So if there, you wanted a bona fide power forward, I was moved over. If you wanted like a real small forward, they would get someone else. With Coach Brito, he kind of let me take that as an advantage where I could maybe hold my own on the defensive end at the four, but then
Yeah.
could exploit a little bit with my speed, or if I'm at the three, stay in front of a three and then use my size. So he kind of flipped that a little bit for me and allowed me to utilize what some would call weaknesses as strengths, I guess you could say. And and you put a lot of confidence, and teammates are great guys. So I think it's working well so far.
Yeah. How would you describe your 2019 season? I think it's really a banner year for you. In your words, how would you describe 2019 for you?
A bit of a roller coaster, I
All
guess you
right.
could say. Like all Filipino was going. Uh, we we kind of started well with 2 wins, and then we went on that losing streak,
Yeah.
and there was a couple games where the ending was, I think one of the refs was ended up
Yeah, I
being
remember that.
terminated and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
we ended up slipping into the last, or the seventh seed,
Hmm.
and then uh, I think struggled in that playoff series. And then the next one was a good series where
Hmm.
we were ranked second. I think we were 9-2 going into
Yeah.
playoffs, but then the bone spur in my ankle broke off, so
Hmm.
I was needed to get surgery, but I played through it, and I was playing with that piece of floating bone in my ankle where I couldn't move my ankle, and unfortunately we lost to San Miguel in that series. And then the last conference we struggled, and I was recovering from that surgery, and then we
Hmm.
ended up making that late run where I think we had to win 3 games in a row to make
Yeah. Hmm.
make it in, and then we had that same knockout thing, and we made the semis, eventually bowing out to the future champions in Inebra. So I think we had, we have some good pieces, and uh, staying healthy will be with the main key with myself, and we lost
Hmm.
key guys like Bolick and Jonathan and whatnot, and Brad. So this break has allowed them, I guess, to heal, and we look forward to them returning where we can be at full strength, and hopefully can put it all together.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Shana, about winning the mythical first team, how special was it for you?
It was special, definitely special. I've felt snubbed or whatever in some situations, or I don't think I've ever played an all-star game yet.
Yeah.
But it was nice, to get that validation from the media, the PBA, your fellow players and coaches and whatnot. It was really nice to get it. But I look forward to the championship.
Yeah.
That's the one that's we're really chasing. So yeah.
Yeah. How about the Defensive Player of the Year award? I think it's also a
Yeah,
good
well,
award for you.
I appreciate
Mhm.
that, and the media recognizing me in that with that award, and I actually took a lot of pride in that one, because
All right.
I think that's how I kind of built my career. Like, we're coming into the league, I wasn't skilled right on that Power A team. My role was to always guard the other team's best player, and
Mm-hmm.
to just set a ton of screens for Gary David. So that I just embraced that, and I was like, if I can really just lock down and get Gary open, and whatnot, I'll have minutes, I'll have a role, and so that's kind of how I brought about it. So I would always study other players. I would be like, okay, I have to be the best defender on the floor, and I've kind of took that with me from there, and I always try and take pride in my defense. And you know, it's nice that at this point I was recognized as that. You know, so
Yeah.
I appreciate that and thank you.
Yeah. But how about your offense? It's not bad either. I think you averaged 16 points this season, if I'm not mistaken. So, what changed for you on the offensive side of things?
I think I just work at it
Mm-hmm.
every day. Like I always try to bring something different every year, and I'm always in the gym. So you know, I think every year I've just gotten a little bit better, and I think
Mm-hmm.
it shows. You know, like I
Yeah.
just brought some more skill. Um, you know, I started playing basketball late. I was like, as you said, I was playing hockey.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually running track and doing other
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So I didn't play till high school. So I was
Okay.
never. I always felt like I was catching up on my skills. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I think I've been able to just develop through just getting a little bit better every day, and I think that's shown, I guess, a little bit every year, a little improvement year by year, and so now where I'm comfortable in my
Mm-hmm.
role and in my position and whatnot, and yeah.
Uh, is this also a role for you with Coach Pido that he's allowing you to really play offense and shoot the ball?
Yeah, Coach Pito definitely gives me the freedom
Mm-hmm.
to do stuff, but we're looking to get more guys involved. Like,
Yeah.
of course, we got guys like Christian, you know, who just won BPC,
Mm-hmm.
and he's solid inside, and we got Bolick, and then you saw Paolo how he developed in that
Yeah.
semi series,
Mm-hmm.
stepping up, and we got a whole bunch of guys that can step up, and if we can just spread out that offense and all just be threats, I think that's the big step to move forward. So it's going to be about getting everyone involved
Yeah.
and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to the season. Maybe not this season, hopefully, but maybe
Hopefully soon.
yeah,
Hopefully
hopefully.
soon.
But
Hopefully.
how optimistic are you with your team? With the strides that you've made over the past few conferences? You mentioned it, kind of a roller coaster, but I believe you are heading. You're really on an upward trend with all those players that you've got.
Mhm.
How optimistic are you that Northport can really be a serious contender for the championship and hopefully win a championship?
Well, I believe we got the right pieces, and I
Yeah.
believe we're putting it together. So hopefully Robert's recovery, you know, hopefully he'll be ready to play by the
Mm-hmm.
time we're ready to go or whatnot, and all the other pieces are healthy, and I think guys are working hard to try and stay in shape and whatnot now. So when the
Mm-hmm.
season does start, we'll be ready, and I do believe we can compete uh, with the higher level teams, and I believe we're just gonna have to put it all together, and you know, it's peaking at the right time, and just, you know, sometimes a bit of luck or whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're hoping to have a great conference whenever
Yeah.
whenever that is, and
Hopefully.
we're just all staying mentally and physically ready. So when it's safe and ready to go, we'll be good.
Want to ask about Robert Bolick, and he's really a special player. What's your thoughts about him? He's not afraid to take the big shots. I think he's
No,
very
no.
comfortable with being a leader in the team as a point guard. How about you? What's your thoughts about him?
Oh, I mean, I love playing with Robert. You know, he's a great guy. He's like you said, he's confident.
Yeah.
And I call him like a rookie vet, as you were
Mm-hmm.
saying. Like he's definitely a leader right from the start, because a lot of times with rookies, you gotta explain stuff to them or whatnot, and he came in right away and was just seeing different options or whatnot, and like he understood rotations and options and counters and whatnot uh,
Mm-hmm.
right off the bat, and he would see things. You know, sometimes he would come down. All right, let's run it like this, because last time they defended it this way, and whatnot, and he sees those things. So
Mm-hmm.
um, as in a young player, especially in that point guard role, it's great to have him on the floor, and we definitely surely missed him that Governor series when we were up against the Nebra for sure.
Yeah. How about playing with Christian Stanaringer, having that threat inside? How easy is it playing with someone like him on the floor?
It's super easy, and he's actually a really great passer as well,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of he creates a lot of shots for a lot of guys, and just his engine is great. Like he's just always going, like, well, and he's attacking the rim, and he's drawing things, rebounding. So he does a lot of things, and I think coming here and getting the minutes, like it's hard if you're playing the same position as a 6-time MVP, right?
Yeah.
So coming to our team, he got the minutes, the touches and whatnot, and right away he showed that he's a best player in the conference and a leader. So it's great, and hopefully we're still building stuff with him. He came in onto the team, I think, halfway through the conference, right? And you saw how we. So now that we've had some time, hopefully we can build that moving forward as well.
Sean, final few questions, but I want to ask you also about, of course, during the off season, I heard that you signed a new contract with NorthPort. How does it feel that getting that contract that perhaps giving you security for your job, and of course, it's really a home for you here at NorthPort. How happy are you that you're staying here with NorthPort with an extended amount of time?
Well, I've always got along with the coaching and management, and I'm just grateful and thankful that they believe in me and whatnot, and so I'm happy to be here, and grateful for the extension of my contract and whatnot, and yeah, I look to help them build this team moving forward, and yeah, just always grateful to their blessings and whatnot.
Yeah. Sean, one final question. Maybe perhaps I want to ask about maybe some things that you still want to achieve in your career. Of course, the championship will be right up there, but in your words, what things do you still want to achieve in your PBA career?
Yeah, I mean, I always feel that you can always get better. So I've been working on things to become a better player, and definitely the number one thing on my list is to win a championship, to lead a team. So I want to. That's the main one. That's basically the only one on my list. I mean, I made a list when I was a rookie, and being an all-star was on there, but I would 100 times over or more rather win a championship than that, and that's just solely my only focus, I would say, is to get to that championship, and with Christian and whatnot, and all the pieces we have. Kelly just came on as well.
Yeah,
we got some good rookies in Renzo and Sean and whatnot. I do feel we got a lot of solid pieces to make a run at it. So that's just my focus.
Yeah, but it will still be great if you'll be playing in an all-star game. We look forward to seeing you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sean Anthony. Sean, thank you for accepting our invitation to join us here on Spin Sidelines. I give you the floor. Perhaps greet our NorthPort fans, message to them. Go ahead.
Maraming salamat lahat ng fans of the PBA, not just NorthPort, but everyone who supports us, and thank you. And I'm praying for you guys, for your safety, for your health, for your well-being during these times and whatnot. And I definitely look forward to playing and seeing you guys on TV, or interacting with you guys, and giving you guys some entertainment from home or whatnot. But yeah, we love and miss you guys, and always thank you for supporting NorthPort, Spin, the PBA, and everything. And we miss you guys. Thank you. Salamat.
Salamat din, Sean Anthony of the Northport Batang Pier. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon, Sean.
Yes, thanks, Ruben. And
Yeah,
hopefully soon at the arena. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
hopefully. And of course, thank you, Sean Anthony, for joining us. And again, thank you also sa ating mga nanonood dito sa ating Spin Sidelines. Again, for more sports news, check out SPIN.PH. You could also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And maraming salamat. I'm Ruben Terrado, and we will see you next time for another edition of the Spin Sidelines.